Long ago, when men ordered their sports equipment from malls and catalogs, an aggressive sport rose up to take the masses by storm. This was rollerblading, and it was the 90s, and it was extreme. Of course, this fad died off relatively quick and has failed to regain its former glory since. And of course, many a company would join the ongoing struggle to push the envelope with skates while applying as little innovation as possible. This usually meant something as simple as a new color for a part, a stitched-on piece of leather to give the skate a soft boot look, or, if the gods were kind, a brand new skate. One of these companies was USD Skates. While most companies at the time only offered 2 models to choose from, USD offered at least 3 skates, at least at the time I started skating, all of which felt pretty different. Truly a grand time in rollerblading history, and they've continued to break the mold since. Flash forward to 2015. Holy crap! What are those? Why are the wheels so big? Where's the H-block? One-piece design? Needless to say, the roller community was shaken, even negative towards a new, innovative, completely different aggressive skate, and I was immediately sold. While others were proclaiming that this was the end of customization, I was on the sidelines, rooting for USD the whole time. So what are the problems that rollerbladers seem to have with this skate? They think that since you don't have the option to switch out your frames, or your sole plates, all the parts you grind with, your cuffs, pretty much every other piece that's replaceable on any other skate, that's actually taking options away from skaters, and that it's actually going to kill the skate industry by doing so. I honestly don't think that that's going to happen because just USD alone has about 5 other skates that you can choose from that are replaceable, that you can get separate parts for and change up your colors and all that stuff. Just by releasing one skate isn't going to kill the industry. Another problem that rollerbladers seem to have with the skate was that they thought that the technology was taking a step backwards. See, back in the 90s, we didn't have skates that had a bunch of different replaceable parts on them. Everything was actually connected together. The sole plate, all the grind parts, and the frame were all one piece. On the new skate, they basically went back with the same idea. Make everything one piece and make it all really simple.
But damn it, Guam, just talk about the skates already!
But I'm sure you guys are ready to hear about how the skates actually feel, so let's hop into the review. The wheels grip amazingly. They feel great. So much so that you can actually go and ride and swivelly bop by a grandma and cut a corner before she even knows you're there. Watch out, Granny! Another thing with the wheels is that I can actually feel them underneath me. I'm so used to having small wheels on my skate that it kind of just feels like I'm gliding when I'm riding on them. These, it's almost like I'm riding on treads. Although the thing I have to say I don't like about the wheel is, God, they ugly. Look at them. They're so white. And why would you put white skates on a big black hunk of plastic? Just doesn't look good for me. I'm gonna definitely have to switch those up to black or gray, something a little darker. Next up are the frames and sole plates. Well, if you like grinding fast, once you get locked into these things, they take off like a freaking freight train. Or more so like a magnet train, you know, the ones that they have in Japan that I keep hearing that they're gonna bring here to America, but they don't ever seem to. Anyway, they slide really fast. It's almost like there's no friction at all between me and the actual obstacle I'm grinding. The H-block doesn't seem to catch at all. It locks on pretty easily, and once you start flexing and squatting on your grinds a lot more, you'll find that you're going to be grinding in these things just as easily as any other skate. This means that the skates are actually forcing me to get lower on my grinds, and eventually, that'll just make all my grinds look better anyway. The sole plates are the perfect size for me. They're not too big, but they're not so small that I'm just going to fall off of anything that I end up locking onto. I really like how my feet actually are so low into the skate that it feels like my feet are inside the sole plates. When I lock onto something, it feels like my foot is literally on top of it rather than having a piece of plastic between it and the obstacle. I really like how wide the groove is in the skates. They're wide enough to where I can lock on with ease, but once I'm actually on there, I'm not going to be sliding around or possibly even slipping off. The only 2 things I have to say I don't like about the skates is that the groove seems to be a little far away from the H-block, and that topsides in these skates seem to roll on the wheels a little bit. Now for the boots and the cuff. The boots seem to be really solid, and since there's no hardware actually holding everything together, they make so little sound. All I can really hear while I'm skating is the wheels rolling underneath my feet. I really like how the color scheme is on them. I've always been a fan of black skates, and the white highlights just make it that much more awesome. I love the V-cut in the cuff. It makes it so that I can actually bend my foot in a lot more directions and get a lot more out of every jump and movement. The things I didn't really like is that the cuff is a bit too supportive. It seems to need a little bit more flex to it, and that the mid-strap on the skates are a little bit too low. I'd also like to replace the mid-straps with something a little bit thicker. So that's my quick rundown of the USD Aeon skates. I think I'm going to definitely be feeling these things for a while. Only things I might end up changing is maybe getting a few different wheels, a little bit smaller. That way I might be able to grind a little bit more. But other than that, I love these things. Grind really fast. The grooves are freaking perfect for the skate. They'd be even more perfect if they were on any other skate. Super solid. They barely make a sound, and they hold my foot in really, really well. I will say that I think I ended up getting a size too large. I usually wear a 9.5, and I got a size 9, and I notice I can still wiggle my toes a little bit in it, but other than that, yeah, really good, awesome, solid skate. Recommend them to anybody.
Ooh, yeah.